Hey everyone, Tammy here from Lammas Creations DIY. Today's video is in part of the Christmas in July DIY challenge, hosted by Domestic Diva and Sandra from the Schroven's Nest. Let's start crafting. So for this first craft, I had this scalloped vase type thing, glass. First, what we're going to do is we're going to wash it. And then I'm going to take it outside and give it a light coating of white spray paint. I didn't want a full coverage. I just wanted it to look kind of frosted looking. So that's what I did. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blue paint from Dollarama and I'm going to paint the scalloped edge all in blue. This here took 3, maybe 4 coats of blue just to get a good full coverage. Then, taking this skewer, I'm going to paint just the tip orange. Now that everything is dry, next what we're going to do is I'm taking this nice fuzzy sock and we're going to put it on over top to make a hat. Little toque. Putting some hot glue and some E6000 all around the edge to make sure that it stays in place. Then I found this rope in my stash and I thought it would be perfect, so I just tied it off on the base and did a simple bow, shoestring bow, and had it all nice and tied there. Fixing my bow. Then taking some scissors, we're going to cut half of that sock off, and then I'm going to cut downwards on this sock, making some fringes. Just cutting as far down as I can until I thought it was good enough. And also to make sure that the heel of the sock was there, and I didn't want it to look like a heel. Now what we're going to do is I found these buttons. Those are going to be his eyes. I'm going to glue them on with some E6000, little wee bit, and a little wee bit of hot glue, and put them into place. Excuse me. Then, taking my little bit of orange part there on the skewer stick, I'm going to snip it off. And again, using E6000 and hot glue, we're going to glue it right in the middle there for his little nose. Little carrot nose. And with my black paint marker, I'm going to draw on his mouth. Some eyelashes. And then taking some pink and a little sponge brush, I'm going to sponge on some pink for his cheeks. Excuse me. Now I have this decorative snow in my stash. I got a couple bags of it. I don't know why I never use it. So I thought, let's try something different. Using some Mod Podge, I'm going to put the Mod Podge onto the snowman face. And using that snow, I'm going to stick it onto the Mod Podge. And try and glue as much as I can on there to look like a snowy face. This is my first year doing Christmas stuff, and I'm super excited to be doing it because I love doing Christmas stuff. Now I have this ribbon. I got it off of actually it's Christmas pajamas. It came all wrapped up and stuff. I always keep everything. Keep the ribbon. We're going to use this as his scarf. Trying to set it up so that he stays in place. So I'm just going to wrap it around and glue in spots to keep it in place. And then I'm going to cross the other one over and glue that down into the spot too. If you're new here, I'd like to say welcome. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. And if you can, please subscribe. I'm working on getting on to 1,000. If you're coming back and you're already a subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here. Now I found these other 2 buttons in my stash and I thought those would look perfect right in the middle there. First the white one and then the blue one on top. I'm just using some hot glue. And voila! A cute little snowman head. I love snowmans. Christmas craft number 2. Taking these 3 classical jars. They had spaghetti sauce in them. I'm going to take them outside and spray paint everything white. Again, I didn't want a full coverage, just a frosted, some coverage here, some coverage there. But the lids I wanted sprayed completely white. And that's what they look like. I keep all my jars because you never know what you can use them for. Now what I'm going to do is I found these 3 images online. Mrs. Claus, Santa, and a snowman. I'm going to cut them out as close as I can to the image. And with the magic of, they're done. Taking the snowman, seeing how he's going to lay down, I'm going to use some Mod Podge. Put a base coat down of Mod Podge, a nice good base. Stick down the snowman and Mod Podge over top of that. This is just on regular printer paper. Just print it out. I do the same thing for Mrs. Claus and for Santa. Now for the lids. I'm going to paint 2 red and 1 black. If I've never said it before, I really don't like painting with red. It always needs like 1,000,000,001 coats, I swear. I also have 3 little wooden knobs that I'm going to paint 2 black and 1 red. You'll see them soon. You can see them up above there by the paint. There's 3 little wooden knobs. Those also get painted as well. Now that this part is dry, while we're waiting for the lids to dry, I'm going to embellish my little jars here and there. I'm going to put a little white pom-pom on Santa's hat. Just with some hot glue. We're going to put a little red pom-pom on Frosty's hat. Mr. Snowman. I love snowmans. They're fun to make. And for Mrs. Claus, I'm going to make a bow with some really fine thread. Not thread, ribbon. Just taking some ribbon and making a simple bow. Doing the bunny ears, looping them together, tighten it. I'm going to glue it right there to where Mrs. Claus' bow is already showing. I then went into my stash and I thought Miss Claus needed some bling. So I went and found a little tiny bling rhinestone there, crafter one, and glued it right into the middle of her bow. Miss Claus needs some bling. Yep, and my finger got stuck and I burnt my finger. Hot glue, I tell you, hurts. Now we're going to glue the little knobs that I painted on top of the jar lids. Red one goes on top of the black one, and the 2 black ones will go on top of the red lids. And as you can see, I added some ribbon around the tops of these jars. I forgot to record, sorry. I was kind of just in my zone and started putting ribbon on, and then I realized I wasn't recording. Fitting all the lids back on. I'm going to use these as coffee, whitener, and sugar for my coffee corner for in the winter. Santa, Mrs. Claus, and Frosty the Snowman. Today's video is hosted by Sonia from Domestic Diva DIY. She's one wonderful crafter. You need to go and see her. She makes all kinds of stuff, thrifts, flips, does furniture. I can't believe how much she does. And also from Sandra from the Shroven's Nest. She does a lot of farmhouse and trash to treasure and Timber Tuesdays, and she's a wonderful crafter as well and a fellow Canadian. They're both fellow Canadians. Christmas craft number 3. I bought the salt and pepper shakers at a garage sale about a week ago. I believe they were handmade because they have an etch in the bottom of someone's name or initials. I thought they were pretty neat. I had to clean these up really, really well. And all I'm using right there is water and a rag. And it needed more than that because they were pretty dirty. I'm going to take them outside and spray paint them entirely in white. And that's what they look like white. Now, I'm sitting there thinking, because my original thought was I was going to make gingerbread men out of them. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, how am I going to make a gingerbread man out of that? And then I thought, nope, we're going a different direction. Taking both of these ribbons, the red check and the black check, I'm going to measure out, wrap it around the top part of these salt and pepper shakers, wrap it around to see how much I need, and then cut it off. Here I'm trying to see if my idea is going to work. Cut off what I need. And then I'm going to glue it into place just along that edge there. Just adding hot glue here and there all the way around, gluing it down into place. This ribbon comes with wire on the sides. So what I do on the top one is I pull the wire out so I can cinch it together in the middle. But I suggest you do that before you glue it on. It's a little easier when it's not glued onto your piece. Cut off the extra that I don't need. And here's where I pull out that little metal piece. But don't throw it away, we're going to use it. Cinch it together on top. And then using that little metal piece, I'm going to wrap it around and secure it into place. I do the exact same thing for the other salt shaker and the black and white ribbon. Now, taking that same ribbon, I'm going to cut a little piece off and wrap it around to hide where that metal piece is. Just to trim it off and hide it. And this is what they look like so far. Now to draw on their faces. Just drawing on with some pencil, their eyes, a carrot nose, and a mouth. I do the same thing to the one with the black and white checkered hat. Taking my black acrylic paint from Dollarama and a very fine brush, I then paint in where I drew in the eyes and the nose and the mouth. I use orange for the nose to make it look like a carrot. Just take your time at doing it. No need to rush it. That way there's no mistakes made. I'm just using the end of a brush here just to put in the dots. I found that to be a little easier. Add a little pink to the cheeks. I know snowmen don't have rosy cheeks, but I like rosy cheeks. Now I'm going to take the Mod Podge and cover the entire salt and pepper shaker just to protect all that paint so it doesn't scratch off or chip off. Gives it a nice coating and a nice protection. This one brush I was using, all the little fibers and hairs kept falling out, so this one salt and pepper shaker snowman there got little hairs all over him. I did change my brush when I did the second one because it was driving me nuts trying to get all those little hairs off. And there they are. Super cute. Little man, little woman. Now, taking the same ribbon, wrapping it around the bottom, cut off how much I need. And then I'm going to cut it into, I used 2 squares basically. And then I fray the edges. Just taking some of that fiber and pulling it off just to give it a little bit of a fray. And then I glue it into place all around the bottom edge there, giving them matching scarves. I always make sure when I'm gluing to start and finish at the back, so when they're sitting there you don't see the two ends gathering together. And then in my stash I had this garland of snowflakes, red snowflakes, and I cut 2 off, and that's going to be their embellishment on front of their scarves. I was going to paint one black to match the black and white one, but then I kind of like the red popping out there on her. If you haven't guessed it, the black and white one is a female, and the red and black one is a male. I like them. They're super cute. There's I put some little lights inside the snowman. There's the whitener, sugar, and creamer set. And my little snowman, salt and pepper shakers, and all 3 of them together. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly had fun making them. I love doing Christmas crafts. Please, if you can, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell, and don't forget that notification. I just said that. And give it a big thumbs up. That's what I wanted to say. I hope everybody has an awesome Tuesday, and we'll see you again next time. Bye, all.